Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we are here with another board game review about Bastion, and I will tell you that why you should be playing this cooperative game. Now Bastion, don't confuse this with another game of the similar name which is called Last Bastion, and the concept of both the games is same, that you are doing tower defense or bastion defense against onslaught of enemies, but this one is a pick up and deliver game in the essence, but with a lot of puzzling elements which make this a very unique game, and that's why I love it. And I will be telling you that why you should be playing this. Now, the how the main mechanics of the game works is that you will have your four mages who are in a citadel, and there is an onslaught of monsters that will be coming out from this deck, and your objective will be to collect enough mana to defeat the enemies and thus save the bastion and make the deck of monsters run out so that nobody's attacking your bastion anymore. And how that will work is that each of these enemies have a color. They come from different realms: the yellow, the black, red, purple, blue, and green. And each of them require that specific mana which is mentioned on the card. So for example, this one will require a 5 value mana. So I need to collect 5 purple mana and then use that mana, channel that mana to kill this monster. That's his strength. Now how I will be collecting that mana? So one of the actions, I can take 3 actions on my turn, and one of the actions is that I can move one space. So I can move from one district, which is that conical or trapezoidal area, to another one, or from citadel to a district. So I can move one space. So once I move one space, next action I can do is that I can channel the mana. I can do them in any sequence. So how I channel the mana, that every player starts with 1 mana of each color in the game, and then they can use any of these discs. Any of your 1 mana you have to use on these fountains, mana fountains, to actually get 2 of that color disc. So for example, let's say I wanted to collect enough purples, then I already have a purple. I don't want to that to go to waste. I'll put this on another purple one, and by channeling my mana on a fountain, I will now get to collect 2 purple discs. So in this way I will move, and once I have enough mana, let's say I was able to move here later on in any turn and then use 1 more disc, and I will have now 2 more purple mana. And now let's leave the other mana disc. Once I have enough mana, the third action that I can do is, in that district I can use my purple disc to actually kill a monster. But one of those things that starts happening as you consume these fountains is that a mana disc get placed on them and they get blocked. So as you use more and more mana or channel more and more mana, slowly the board will be filled or the district will be filled, and you cannot channel the mana from that fountain anymore. And at that time, what you will have to do is, each district has these 3 fountains but 1 tower as well. So you will have to at that time channel your magic on the tower, and then if these discs were, for example, just to show you, if these discs were here, I will place a mana channel here and these will get picked up. But that also means that once tower is filled, next time these get filled again, then you can no longer even put a disc here on the tower to actually clear up the fountains as well. At that time you will have to go to the citadel and you can collect all the discs on different towers. So that's the first puzzling element in this game that you will have to focus on, that when are you going to actually use the towers. You can use them incomplete, but at that time you will be getting only 2 discs of different colors. But if there were 3 discs already here and I channel 1 more magic, then I get to pick up 3 discs. They will be of different colors. So you will be puzzling that out, that okay, where the colors are available which are beneficial to me. Will I get 2 discs or will I get 3 discs? when should I use it, when should I go to the tower and collect, to the citadel and collect all the discs from the towers. But when you collect from citadel, you don't need to spend any mana. So it's very beneficial that as much as this is populated, then you channel through the citadel. But it might not suit the kind of monsters that are coming in. So that's one of the puzzling element that you will always be trying to solve, that what should I do first and what should I do later. Then that's only a small element of the game. This pick up and deliver mechanism, you're picking up the mana from different locations and then taking them to the monsters to kill them up. The main element of these games are these monsters themselves, because each of the monsters that come out from the deck not only have their own strength, but they have a special ability or a special unique attack power that you need to manage. For example, this one is actually a flyer, and his ability is they don't walk around the tower wall, they actually fly above the tower and go to your district. So just like this flyer, it will come here. So, or it will match its color, and the purple color is here. So it will come here and block your access to the fountains. And that's what their ability is, that they are going to block the fountain. So now you can no longer use the fountains here to collect mana until you kill this one. So your access to mana is getting blocked. You need to collect it from elsewhere and then kill this monster to free up your mana so that you can start using these mountains. And these colors are not unlimited, so you will be limited. You will have to use towers unproductively that you can kill him. So you always have to look at these kind of monsters, that how they are going to act. For example, another one of my favorites is a shapeshifter. Now a shapeshifter, as the name indicates, does not have any strength. It has an X on the top. But what it has is that as soon as a shapeshifter is placed, it takes the shape or the strength of the monster next to it. So in this case, there is a monster of level 5 next to it. So it becomes a monster of level 5. But the problem is, the next time a monster comes and get placed here, then the shapeshifter is going to take the strength of both of the monsters next to him. So he essentially becomes more and more powerful. Then you will be trying to actually puzzle it out, that do I have to kill him first, or do I kill the higher strength one first so that its strength becomes lower and then I get to kill him. Then when you kill these monsters, you are going to get some special abilities as well. All of these monsters, these are multi-use cards. All of these monsters have a magic spell at the bottom section. So as soon as you kill him, you flip the card over, and now the bottom section of this becomes a magic spell that you can use. So for example, a shapeshifter's magic spell is a teleportation spell. Using this teleportation spell, I can teleport any monster. I don't want this monster here. I can teleport this monster elsewhere, because it might be beneficial for me to kill him there. Maybe I'm trying to reduce its strength. Maybe it's trying to defend other monsters. Based on different abilities of the monsters, you can use the teleportation ability very usefully. There are some simpler spells. There are fireball spells. There are spells to manipulate. There are prison spells. You can manipulate the colors of your mana disk using those spells. So a whole variety of spells are going to come from these type of monsters. The bigger the monster type, the better magic spell they are going to give. So as you can understand, these monsters have different variety, and what you are trying to do is, the last piece of the puzzle is that the cards will keep coming, and these cards will keep opening along the wall, which represents the monsters are gathering around the wall and trying to walk all the way up to the gate of the bastion. And what you're trying to do is, if at any time there is no space left around the board and it starts filling up, and slowly each district is going to have 4 spaces. As soon as all these spaces fill up until the very end, then the problem is that if no monsters have any more space to go in any empty space, that monster is going to go destroy your wall and enter in the castle, and as soon as any even a single one enters, the gate breaks, then you lose the game immediately. And that's what you're trying to do. That's the last piece of the puzzle that you're trying to solve. That which monster do I kill? How do I create an empty space where the next monster card that comes in goes inside? Rather than they enter my castle, I should be able to at least kill one monster each turn, but you don't get that power so easily because you need to collect mana on one turn and kill the monster maybe on next turn or few turns ahead. And that's why you're trying to solve that maybe I will have to keep the weaker monsters for later when the time is short and I need to be powerful at that time. And that's the kind of puzzle you would be solving. This game does not get as much love as it deserves. It does not get praise. Most people don't know about this game. And that makes me sad because this is a beautiful puzzle that you get to solve in a co-op game and get to feel powerful as you kill these monsters. And each monster is a puzzle in itself. So, as you can see that I'm very enthusiastic about this game because it is really good. And I have not told you everything in this game. For example, there are even artifact cards. These artifacts are kind of tower defense structures. The tower defense structures let you build different buildings within your district which are going to enhance your capabilities to actually channel more mana, channel different kind of abilities, weaken the enemies of a particular color, and these can help you counter the bigger enemies. And with bigger enemies, we have not even talked about the bosses. The game comes with a variety of bosses which you can mix in the deck, and they have their own unique abilities, unique names, and they make the game more fun when you see a boss fight coming in. Now, when it comes to the deck, how the deck will run out, well, you will keep killing them, but at the start of the game, there is an element of this deck construction that you have to set up the deck based on the type of monsters you want to fight, because the number of variety of monsters here is too many, and you shouldn't be playing with all the complete deck because that's a lost game anyway. So you can always customize the type of monsters that you should be playing with. There is a guideline given in the rule book that how you are going have to mix and match the monsters so that you get a variety of game each time you play. You will not get to experience all the type of monsters in one game. You will set up two to three specific type of monsters in each game, and that's given at the end of the game. So for example, what it recommends is that if you are playing on for example normal mode, then add 3 advanced enemies and 2 bosses legendary enemies in the deck, and then shuffle your deck. If you're playing on nightmare, then 5 of each type of your advanced enemies as well as 4 of your legendary enemies. So again, there is a guideline given. The game also, the rule book comes with few scenarios. There are 4 scenarios in the book that are going to tell you that how you should play, which enemies you should add in the deck, and that will let you get started in the game. But that brings me to a bad thing, or the only bad thing which is in this game, that normally people by themselves will not be able to figure out that which enemies should I put in the deck if I want to make a customized deck other than those 4 scenarios that are given. And that's the only, I think, the negative part, that I would have preferred that in the rule book they gave more combination of just the enemy types. They didn't have to make the whole missions, but at least different recommended deck combinations that people can play, because there are some enemies which don't work well with other enemies and they make your game immediately unwinnable. So for example, if you mix dragons with flyers, then you are sure that as long as they keep popping up, you're you will never be able to actually compete with them, because they will block all your mana access and you will for surely lose. So that's why it's very important that the people do understand that how to manage these decks, and where there is a limit and what combination of enemies should not be put together. So I did prepare some around 10 story missions. If you want, you can get this freely on BGG file section under Bastion, and they will give you an overarching story as well as some combination of decks that you will be using in those 10 missions. These are already play tested, so you can use those in case you are interested in playing this game, but this is not essential. The game itself, you can figure out these decks with experience and then play these monsters. The game does come with miniatures. Now, I do understand that I think this is a Z-Man edition which comes with miniatures and nice plastic tokens that act as your magic mana disc. Because I have seen some earlier versions, maybe just by Hobby World, or there were some prototypes which use standees and cubes. But this is a really nice version. It has double-sided boards, interlocking jigsaw, so you can mix and match and have a variety of games using these base components that come in the game. So overall, a highly recommended co-op game with, as long as you are fun of puzzly elements in your games. That's it for me. That was the review for Bastion. Hope you like it. Happy gaming.